Hey guys, welcome into the show. CancelTheShow.com. Vic Faust. Projo's in the house today. Eric Johnson on his way in. Glad you are with us today. So much good happening in the world. We appreciate it when you jump in on the People's Platform. From the chat line. Hi, Paul, Donna, Mitch, Addie, Ben, Cindy, Tanya. It's all the names I just see right now. Wow. Yeah, lots of good going on. Futures have been up. Stock market's up. Everybody's excited about Donald Trump. People are excited about the United States of America again. We don't have a buffoon at the helm anymore, and we don't have the Democrats at the helm. And even though most Democrats probably don't want to destroy the country, they're just misguided. There are those in that party who do want to destroy the country from within. And they've gotten the rest of the people brainwashed to follow their needs. But now you see what's happening. Yes, Paul, I just saw it. $600 billion investment from Saudi Arabia into the United States. They were talking about destroying the US dollar about 6 months ago. This is what happens when Donald Trump comes back in. People recognize power. They recognize authority. They recognize a leader. And we have it back, and you should feel good about it. I do. This is damn good news. Hell, JP Morgan, their CEO, JP Morgan Chase CEO, Jamie Dimon, says he backs Trump's tariffs. He says it's smart. Nobody's afraid of cancel culture anymore. Everybody's saying what they feel because you want to be with the winner. We don't want to be a loser anymore. We were an awful disgrace of a leader, of a loser under the leadership, if you want to call it that, of Joe Biden, Barack Obama, Michelle. Oh, did you hear they're married? Their stuff's on the rocks. And Eric was telling me, Barack is hanging out with Jennifer Aniston. But now Barack and Michelle aren't hanging out. And so maybe the whole Trump excuse was that, an excuse why Big Mike didn't show up to hang out with his little buddy, George W. You know, those two hang out a lot together. And you know who the female is in that relationship? It's little Georgie, because Georgie takes orders well. Just ask his former leadership. They told George what to do, and George was like, okay, where's my white line? I'll do whatever as long as I have my white lines. I'm sorry, I'm getting off base. Not a big George W. fan anymore after 9/11. Anyway, I digress. So much good happening with America. The interviews, the transparency, and you guys know all of this stuff. Hallelujah. Cindy says Trump's going to North Carolina tomorrow. They are sleeping in tents there. They're finally going to get some help because Biden didn't do shit. Kamala didn't do crap. None of them did. All they were worried was about covering their ass. And then, of course, we see what happened in LA. Thank God we have people who are trying to help out. They didn't do anything in East Palestine either. Now we have leadership at the helm. We have leadership, finally. And you still have people trying to pick apart Trump. But the best part about this is most of America agree with everything that's going on. Even CNN last night showing polling that, quote, the majority, most Americans agree with Donald Trump's deportation and his deportation methods. That's right. CNN reporting it. Their own polling. CNN. It's because you should not be afraid. Don't ever be afraid to be a conservative. Don't ever be afraid to say that you're Republican. Don't ever be afraid to, quote, offend somebody because they're so mean and nasty. You're about America. You're about patriotism, and you have people on your side. You may have a little friend group or family group that are loudmouths, and they want to make you believe that you're in the majority. Remember, good will always overcome evil in the end, and you are part of the good. Good things are happening in America. Paul says, expose the last administration for what it was, incompetent. Good morning, all. The Dems are still, Paul, the Dems are still slow rolling most of Trump's cabinet picks. They are. They're dirty. They are just a nasty, dirty party. Everything about them is dirty. It is dirty. And I'm not trying to do a show right now that is all about, well, let's have peace and harmony. Yeah, we all want peace and harmony. We want to be uniters. And it's easy to say, oh, I hope Trump's a uniter. There's a guy on my text line. He's a good man saying, I just hope Trump's a uniter. If people don't allow you to be a uniter, you can't be a uniter. It's pretty simple. And of course, all of his picks are going to get confirmed. And they're slow roll. They got 7 on the first day with Barack Obama. And they're just slow rolling Donald Trump because they hate the success, because they hate the man, and they hate us. The Democrats hate us. They will say they don't, but they hate us. They hate us as Americans, and we are moving on to be positive because we haven't got time on it. Yes, they're slow rolling it, but America will win. And we're going to get so tired of winning. It's like, what's today? Oh, we're going to win today. What are we going to win today and tomorrow? Enjoy it. I love it. It is fantastic to see some of those things. Coming up on the show, Donald Trump did an amazing interview with Sean Hannity last night. Sean did a pretty good job. That was part 1. They've got part 2 tonight. We'll have some from that. And we'll talk about the Biden crime syndicate family being investigated now for the pardons, as should be. Don't know if anything's going to happen. Trump's got troops going to the border, promises being kept, as you have to love. What's going on with the JFK information? We're going to get into that as well. Can't wait to see some of those things that are happening. Also, I just feel that this is such a great comment from Scott Bessent. He is a U.S. Treasury Secretary appointee, or at least he's trying to become that. I'm just talking about how inclusive Donald Trump is. It's amazing stuff. It really is. Tom Homan doing what he can at the border. All of these things that Donald Trump said he would do, he is now getting done. And of course, Eric Johnson will be here. We'll get into all of that coming up. Gotta love it. Plus, big news. We've talked about AI for a couple of years on this show. A $500 million AI investment. And some of the things are going to come out of that. 500 billion, excuse me, not million, billion. All of that. Coming from the chat line, Pam says, listening to this story about AI and Fox this morning concerns me. This is bad news. It could be. Cindy says, we hated going through the last 4 years, but it's making what's happening now even better. Yeah, and better choices all the way around. America is winning, and we're going to win big for 4 years. The time of the golden age, as we talked about, is here, and we're glad that everybody is with us this morning. I wanted to just get this done and get it out of the way because it's the bad news. Donald Trump was ambushed, and J.D. Vance was ambushed 2 mornings ago by, I don't know, a demon bishop, Episcopal. And I'm trying to call it the Episcopals, but we've had more issues with Episcopal pastors and Episcopal, quote, Christian leaders trying to promote this nasty sin in the world. And it is sad. This woman, I'm not even going to say her name because she doesn't deserve it. It's brutal, yucky, nasty, all the way around. This is what happened the other day. Donald Trump called her out. We'll tell you what Donald Trump had to say. This woman should, and the reason I show it is you got to understand who these Episcopals are, and they come out and they attack Donald Trump to his face. And this woman, by the way, has always been a hardcore left-leaning, anti-Trump liberal going after Trump. So be careful when you're in church services and listen to what pastors say. The Trump's team did not deserve to hear this at all. And there are some people calling her a hero. Most people saying that she's pure evil. Demon bishop.
I ask you to have mercy upon the people in our country who are scared now. There are gay, lesbian, and transgender children in Democratic, Republican, and independent families, some who fear for their lives. And the people who pick our crops and clean our office buildings, who labor in poultry farms and meatpacking plants, who wash the dishes after we eat in restaurants and work the night shifts in hospitals, they may not be citizens or have the proper documentation, but the vast majority of immigrants are not criminals. They pay taxes and are good neighbors.
Okay, I think I've heard enough. I can't even listen to that anymore. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Donald Trump kind of put things in perspective, and I read it for you from Donald Trump's quote. I'm glad he put this out because he and JD Vance and the family just looked at them like, are you kidding me? Trump says, quote, the so-called bishop who spoke at the national prayer service on Tuesday morning was a radical, left hardline Trump hater. And this isn't opinion, this is fact. Look her up. It is sad that this, quote, person who calls herself a woman of God is out in these rallies as a part of some of the most vile things that you can imagine. I'm a woman of God, I care, yeah. And I want kids to get their parts cut off if they feel like it. Very sad. He goes on to say, she brought her church into the world of politics in a very ungracious way. He also goes on to say she was nasty in tone and not compelling or smart. She failed to mention the large number of illegal migrants that came into our country and killed people. She did. Of course, she wasn't going to say that. Many were deposited from jails and mental institutions. Donald Trump also went on to go on to say, he said, it is a great crime wave that is taking place in the USA. Apart from her inappropriate statements, the service was a very boring and uninspiring one. She is not very good at her job. She and her church owe the public an apology. And if you're Episcopal, I'm sorry, but this is what is represented. We need Episcopals to call her out. Anyway, as Tanya says, per the Bible, one man, one woman, and Donald Trump already set that in stone. He literally signed an executive order reminding people, as if we needed one, there are two genders, male and female, male and female, male and female. So anyway, just looked down the chat line. Somebody said, hi, Megan. If Megan's on there, we love you, Megan. Of course, we miss you. We hope life is good for you. If you came in the chat line, I didn't have time when I'm by myself doing that. So anyway, Donald Trump handled it with class and dignity. But no, there's going to be people trying to set traps for Donald Trump and JD Vance and people all around, even though we're going to get so damn tired of winning because this is what we waited for. And now it is here. When you want to talk about, quote, inclusiveness, Scott Bessent, and I try to say his name right, Bessent, U.S. Treasury Secretary nominee. Listen to how he talks of Donald Trump. Donald Trump has always been inclusive. He's not trying to put a gay or homosexual lifestyle or anybody or force it on anybody, and we've never agreed with any of that. But some of Donald Trump's best friends his entire life have been gay men. They are. It's part of it. Whether you agree, disagree, like it, don't like it, it's a fact. And he doesn't run from it. And he supports the log cabin Americans who are, gays for Trump. And the list of gays who are conservative and Republican are growing, and great people and people who support this show. Listen to what Scott had to say when it came to how Donald Trump is being inclusive. And all these people try to say that Donald Trump is not inclusive. And here's a gay man talking about how inclusive Donald Trump really is.
What'd you call me? Sitting here today is especially meaningful for me because this is my third try of public service. In 1979, when I was 17 years old, I wanted to fight for my country. Yeah. My father had just experienced extreme financial difficulties. I wanted to attend the U.S. Naval Academy. Yeah. I was offered by our congressman in the 6th District of South Carolina an appointment, but was unable to take that appointment because of my sexual preference.
Why'd you tell anybody?
I managed to go to Yale, worked several jobs to do that. While at Yale, I wanted to do public service and joined the Foreign Service. I was told also not welcome. So sitting here today is my third attempt at public service. And I sit here knowing that President Trump chose me because he believes I'm the best candidate. Not because of my sexual preference, not because Treasury secretaries with green eyes do better. And I think it is a tribute to President Trump that he looks at people as people.
Thank you for that.
Good point.
Eric Johnson, good morning to you.
Hi.
Because we were just talking about how there are people who say that Donald Trump isn't inclusive and he doesn't care. And here's a gay man talking about how great Donald Trump really is when it comes to inclusivity.
He's an idiot. Trump is never, the DEI stuff is exactly what he just said. He goes, oh, look, brown skinned person. We need someone in a high level management position. Do they know how to do the job? No. Okay, well, they still got brown skin. That's DEI. Trump is a Manhattan building, a builder. If he has a fleet of African Americans or a fleet of Latinos that can do the job, or a fleet of any national persuasion whatsoever, he's going to hire them. That's the beauty of Donald Trump. He doesn't care.
No, he doesn't.
Can you do the job? Yes, I can
Amen.
do the job with great efficiency, and I can make you money. Fantastic. Welcome to the club. That's Trump. That is DEI. That is DEI. If
It
you
should
can,
be.
if on a merit-based system, remember the old days when you would take your nice little resume into Venture or Target or Kmart, and you would talk to the human resources person, and they would go over your resume and go, "Oh, this is a very nice resume.
Merit-based hiring.
It looks like you have the merit to be able to put boxes on our shelves. Fantastic. Good job." And if you wanted to go up the ladder, you refined your resume and you go, "Oh, look, bachelor's degree. Oh, now you can be under management at our company. Fantastic." And if you wanted to be a CEO, you had a resume that showed I can be a CEO. And it was up, since they have a fiduciary response to their shareholders, usually most companies, I need to find people who can make my company money. I'm not doing it through the lens of skin color or sexual orientation. Doggy style always is the best, of course. And then, it's the thing about it is,
That was like a strong shot.
I
of
just wanted to see what
espresso.
you would do. I just wanted to see what you would do.
Hey now.
Yeah, he's on top of it this morning.
If you want it,
Dun dun dun.
DEI is a
Or is behind it.
It's a
Sorry.
good job.
I've been hanging out with you. I've been getting more creative hanging out with you more.
Well,
You're rubbing off on
I
me.
don't know, you don't want that in your life, trust me. So what we're seeing here is, if you, the only place to get any of the this is not a first 100 days thing. This is the first 100 hours thing that's happening with Trump. There's so
It's
much
so
stuff
amazing.
going on a minute by minute basis, but you're really seeing what the plan of the left is. Have you noticed this? CNN, MSNBC, swing a dead cat and hit a liberal newspaper, it doesn't matter. The only thing that they're focused on is the J6 rioters. That is the only. You turn on CNN,
And they're
you
getting beat
might
on
hear.
that too.
Yeah, you turn on CNN right now, you might see a little bit of the LA fires. But it switches back to breaking news coverage of the J6 rioters on MSNBC this morning. They had a damn psychologist on how to deal with your depression about all of this stuff. I was like, this is a news organization?
The best part is even
God.
better than that, because I was in those planning meetings for so long. I can only imagine the planning meetings. Yeah, we're going to get a psychiatrist. Are you guys doing all right? Yeah. Do you have a
Yes.
psychiatrist you go to? They prescribe you drugs. You have a counselor that you talk to. This is so bad. But I still think more and more people are coming over to the Trump side, the good side. The dark side is gone.
I do
CNN
too.
even reported last night the majority of Americans are now publicly saying they agree with the deportation that Donald Trump is
What's not to
implementing.
agree with?
Well, there's a lot that's not to agree with, but people aren't afraid to talk about their conservatism anymore. They're not afraid to be canceled anymore.
Here, let me-
It takes time, because I still know some people in circles throughout the St. Louis area,
yeah.
because St. Louis County is liberal and people hate it when I say it, but it's liberal, and it has continued to vote liberal because people are still the old school Democrats.
Mhm. But they don't understand that there's
and they're
none of those
afraid.
around.
Yeah, I know.
See, that
They don't understand that. They're trying to come to grips
Yeah.
with it.
It's like being.
I just want Trump to be a uniter.
Yeah, it's like being.
Okay.
It's like being a David Lee Roth Van Halen fan and not realizing that Sammy's in the band. That's not Van Halen anymore, guys.
Oh, it got bad. Don't you dare.
That's
Don't
not
you
Van
dare
Halen
compare
anymore.
Sammy
Yeah,
Hagar,
that's exactly. This is a perfect analogy.
Hagar
It's
to a
perfect.
liberal Democrat.
It's like waking up in the morning and go, I'm going to go see Van Halen. Then you arrive there and Sammy's singing. You're like, that's not Van Halen.
Oh my God, that's the best.
Anyway, that's the Democrats in St. Louis County. And eventually they're going to be sick of it and they're going to say, screw it. We're going to go listen to Skid Row. And that's all
Oh
there's to
my
it.
God, that's funny.
So it's
there's
please,
just lots of good that's happening.
Please, guys, what I want you to do is just take a little bit of time and go back and forth between CNN and Fox. Because every time you go to CNN, it's the J6 rioters back to Los Angeles. And then you turn it back to Fox and like they're 3 stories ahead on new things that Trump has done.
Well, it's going to be this way
It's
for 4
crazy.
years. It's going to be that way. They're not going to talk about the good. They're not going
Right.
to talk about the stock market. They're not going to talk about the futures. They're not going to
Yeah.
talk about a $600 billion investment
Mhm.
from Saudi Arabia now.
Yeah.
Because they know that Donald Trump has the power when it comes to energy. You don't think Saudi Arabia doesn't know that we have our own oil here? We have our own natural energy. We have just refused under Democratic leadership to drill.
Yeah.
They know.
Well, did you hear?
They've done the test.
Davos now is talking about $500 billion investment into the United States
I did not
for
hear that.
AI. For
Oh
AI.
yeah, I do. And matter of fact, I did. It's a big deal. It's already happened.
So imagine a country. Okay, this is where it gets stupid.
You're talking about a $500 billion
yes.
AI investment, with a lot of it hinged upon helping the healthcare industry.
Curing cancer.
There's
a company right now.
You gave me chills because I still can't see how pharma will act when it comes to that. Because you know how much money is made in pharma,
right?
Treating patients.
Well, there's a cancer vaccine where it improves your it actually, I think and I'm not going to get this right, but I heard it programs your immune system to go after the T cells, to go after these cancer cells and annihilates them. And that was for leukemia, right? And now they're training the algorithm on other cancers. And now on top of that, Joe, they're throwing $500 billion at AI data centers that actually can run this stuff.
Well, he announced it's a $500 billion AI infrastructure investment into the United States. And a lot of people hear AI and they get afraid, because if you don't know anything about it, there's people in the chat line like, I don't like this. Joe doesn't like it.
Well, you know what? If you want to cure
but a lot
cancer,
of times, if you don't understand things, you may not like it. That's human nature.
Yeah. Do you want to
need to know more?
If you want to be on a planet and not 300 years from now, if you want to be on a planet right now and have the ability to be a little less cancer afraid, then you're going to need AI. If you don't care about that, if you're like, if I get cancer, screwed, I'll die. It's nature, whatever. But my son is like, if they can come up with technologies to keep me alive for 300 years, I'm in. I'm the opposite. I don't want to be.
I know, but but you're talking about, Sam Altman, the OpenAI CEO, SoftBank CEO, Masashoya Son, and Oracle chairman Larry Ellison. A lot of people are big fans of. I mean, they were at the White House Tuesday afternoon with President, standing right by Trump when they were putting this through.
I saw Jamie Dimon saying, "Get off of Trump. Everything he's talking about is correct." Well, I was like, "You got to be kidding me!"
I brought up Jamie Dimon this morning. Not only that, he says he backs. He backs the Trump tariffs. He's like, "This is how you make America great again." He didn't say that a year
ago, did he?
Because people were afraid
of what?
Of Biden, of Barack, of the whole crime syndicate family,
the crime syndicate family,
the deep state with which there is.
Yeah.
All of these things, all of these people, they were afraid. People are becoming less afraid, and they're ready to talk. But this whole Stargate issue, we might as well jump in since you brought it up. This is a couple-minute video of a guy explaining what's happening in the United States when it comes to Stargate. And Donald Trump brought this up in his speeches. I mean, it caught Joe's attention too the other day. He's excited about it. And if you want to stay ahead, as you were talking about, Eric, you have to keep up with the tech situation. You have to be ready. You have to embrace things that you don't want to embrace.
Exactly.
Robots are coming too. They're coming, whether we like it or not.
Again, that speaks to the fact that you and I used to take phone calls off the wall. And we knew phones when we would hit little buttons. The new generation isn't going to look at it like that.
We have to adapt. You survive and overcome.
Well, we do, but the new kids are going to be like, "Oh, look, robot."
So wait, you're telling me that if they found a way to get your soul and put it in one of these robots, you'd live forever?
It's not about that.
No, not the soul.
It's not about that.
I'm just saying, this is what I'm saying. If they're going this far right now,
that's for
AI,
posterity. That's like taking a picture of you. That's not the same thing, because anyway, I'm definitely not going down the consciousness road right now. But if
Joe takes it to
he does
the end.
He takes it.
I look at the end game.
Yeah, headache level.
Well, you're like, wait.
But no, you're right. When Elon, when Elon stuck chips in people's brains, my son, who's 27, 28, he basically is like, "Look, here's the deal. I'm in. Whatever it takes. If I'm paralyzed, stick a chip in my head, and if it cures something, stick another chip in my head." And then I go, "Do you really want to be a 200-year-old dude that just like you're so old that you just kind of evaporate?" Is that what you want in life, man? There's something you're getting into that weird gray area on life and technology, and they're starting to merge. And we haven't even talked about quantum computing yet.
Only God should be immortal. That's all I'm
Well,
saying.
yeah, of course.
Well, 200 years isn't immortal, but it's living way past your 80-year, expiration date. That's for sure. Anyway, getting back to
But this
the $500 billion investment into the country. Here's the deal, guys. $500 billion into the latest, greatest technology, kind of like AI is the Model T of our time.
it is.
AI is the Model T. It's like, oh my God, you don't have to ride a horse anymore. There's a damn buggy without horses. Geez, this is the AI of our time. And we need to capture it first and foremost. When you think about America, you think about AI. That has to happen. Number two, you are opening up the spigot, making energy so available that where you can go and power these things either with fuels, with nuclear, and eventually with fission energy or energy of like mind. And that is kind of where Trump, I believe, and we'll see, is right. It's all about energy.
Well,
It's all about energy.
This
man.
it is. This, and that's another reason why you have these other countries wanting to come and now do business with the United States. As Zelensky said 2 weeks ago, he's like, people want to know, world leaders are asking me, what's Trump saying? What's Trump saying? What's he going to do?
Mm-hmm.
Because they know. It's like, uh-oh, the boss is back. This is about Stargate.
Yeah.
With this $500 billion investment. Most of us are still trying to learn.
Yeah.
But construction on these projects are already going on. Listen, this video this breaks
Texas.
In Texas. You already, damn, Eric, you already get it.
Man, I'm way hyper
should
about
be.
this stuff.
Here, check out this video.
Yeah.
This video explains a lot of what's going on.
Trump just revealed how the U.S. government will fast-track Project Stargate, a $500 billion AI project that could change everything. Project Stargate brings together Larry Ellison, Sam Altman, and Masa Son to build the largest AI infrastructure project in history. The scale is insane. They're constructing massive data centers across America, starting with 10 buildings in Texas, each 500,000 square feet.
Damn.
And that's just the beginning. Oracle is already building AI for healthcare, using it to analyze medical records and create cancer detection systems that could diagnose from a simple blood test. They're even developing personalized cancer vaccines that can be produced in just 48 hours using AI and robotics. But here's what makes this truly huge. SoftBank's Masa originally planned to invest $100 billion, but after seeing the project's potential, he increased it to $500 billion. The project brings together tech giants like Microsoft and Nvidia, creating over 100,000 American jobs almost immediately. Sam Altman believes this will be the most important project of our era, keeping advanced AI developments in America instead of countries like China. It's all happening fast, too. Trump plans to speed up construction through emergency declarations, making it easier to build the massive power plants needed to run these AI systems. The first centers are already under construction in Abilene, Texas, and there's much more coming.
If you don't see,
It's going to blow people's minds.
Trump is already 4 football fields ahead
He
of the
really is.
liberal
He
media
really
right
is.
now.
What a great quote. He is.
The liberal media isn't even out of the starting gate as far as trying to
talk about J6.
J6 and Raskin. I saw Raskin today on Morning Joe.
Are you mean to people? Are you starting mean tweets again because of the gay pastor? I mean,
that wasn't a pastor, by the way.
That was a
that-
wannabe.
Well, I don't know what the Episcopalian.
I went through. I
when
broke
you're-
down the Episcopalians.
Every time I've seen a sermon, Joe, it had something to do with Jesus Christ dying on the cross and being reborn to forgive you of your sins. And you somehow weave in a special message off of that. This was a political hit job, is what this was.
Of course it was.
and
And
I
there's
don't-
going to be those that are coming up.
And I don't understand.
We played some of her stuff until we couldn't take it anymore.
I don't understand. Look, this is the kind of thing, if she was passionate about it, she goes, Mr. President, can I talk to you? Thank you for taking the time to listen to my amazing.
She doesn't.
Well, you know
deserve
what
the
I'm
time.
saying,
No.
though. You know what I'm saying? You pull them aside and you go, this is for me and you. And hopefully this is a nugget that I can put in your brain while you're making your decisions.
Gina
Have a
calls
great
her
day.
a pest turd.
Oh my God. Was Episcowoke, I heard the other day.
Episcowoke, I love it. But the $500 billion investment, it's just more of what you talk about. Donald Trump has a vision in all areas. Second time on the job, 4 years to sit back, and now it's better that he's here.
And that's why this show, Vic, this show can be way better in the coming 4 years. Today, starting today, all you have to do is pop the cameras open every morning and go like this. All right, guys, gather around. Here's what happened last night while you were sleeping. Because it's going to be one after another of this crap. And last night we just broke ground in Indiana on a brand new data center. And then, I mean, literally, this show is just going to monitor what Trump's people are doing. Okay, gather around, everybody. Pam Bondi found out exactly where the crime syndicate money is. It's buried in a bank over there in Switzerland. I mean, this is going to be a fascinating 4 years. You're not going to be so defensive. You're not going to come in here pissed off at Biden anymore. You're going to come in here with like these really positive stories. Hey, gather around, everybody. Trump just announced that Putin is getting out of Ukraine. I mean, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, they're talking about it. The best part, too,
this is going to be a great show in the next 4 years.
He is doing so much media coverage. Donald Trump is talking to anybody, and he did an interview. He's got a 2-part series. He did it with Sean Hannity.
I didn't see any of it.
I watched most of last night's interview, blown away by it. There were a couple different topics. One was the whole I don't know, which one did you pop up, Joe? Which one is this?
Democrats can't govern.
Yeah, just listen. I mean, he's just look at that face to face. We're not used to seeing anything like this. Here's Donald Trump talking about that from a Democratic standpoint.
We had a conversation, and maybe I shouldn't disclose this, but I will. And it was after the 2020 election. And you asked me a question, and we've known each other for 30 years, so we have a friendship and we have a professional relationship. And the question you asked me, maybe in the end it will be better that if I came back in 4 years. And we talked about history. After World War II, Winston Churchill was thrown out, but they brought him back. Grover Cleveland is the only other American president that did not serve consecutive terms. And my answer to you was, I thought it would be bigger if you came back.
It's turning out to be bigger. And I think one thing is happening is people are learning that they can't govern and that their policies are terrible. I mean, they don't want to see a woman get pummeled by a man in a boxing ring.
No.
They don't want to see men in women's sports and otherwise. They don't want to see them, and they don't want to have transgender for everyone. They don't want a child leave home as a boy and come back 2 days later as a girl. A parent doesn't want to see that. And there are states where that can happen.
Oh.
They don't want to see taxes go through the roof. Like, this is the only group of people they want to raise your they say we want to raise your taxes. You know, if they don't work with us on the Trump tax cuts extending, that would mean it would go back to the taxes. We got the largest tax cut in history. That would mean the taxes would go up more than any tax hike in the history of our country. And normally you'd say that's got to be the easiest negotiation in history, because if they did that, how could they ever win an election? But they'll fight us on that. They fight us on things. It's incredible.
Here, I ran into...
They don't use common sense. In my opinion, the Democrats don't use common sense.
It's true.
True, of course. We know they don't.
They're punitive. The Democrats are punitive. They look at punishing their enemies, and that's the problem. And you're looking at a president that's like, you tried your best to get me. You failed. We're moving on. That's the thing, Vic. You tried your best to get me. You failed. We're moving. The train is leaving the station. If you want to sit here on the deck and not get on the train and talk about J6ers, do it at your own peril, because eventually no one's going to come around your soapbox and listen to you talk about J6ers. Nope. And our train is going to be a million miles away, and you're never going to get, And that's the truth. That's the truth.
And so is the country when it comes to who they vote for. That was part one. Part two is tonight, but also part of one last night. I want to know. And Donald Trump told us he was going to release the JFK files. He told us that. Mm-hmm. I want to see it.
Yeah.
I want to see it big time. Last night he was talking to Hannity about this, and here's Trump talking about why he didn't do it the first time, and just kind of blew my mind why.
Okay.
And he didn't really say yet exactly when we're going to hear.
Yeah.
But this was telling to me about just deep state and why people don't want it to be said.
Well, I think that before you play it, I think that it's because he wants to have his people in place.
I agree.
He doesn't want to do it
Great point.
just kind of swinging on a tree out there by
And it's
himself.
taking forever.
How cool would it be to have Kash Patel there with Bondi there at the DOJ and saying, all right, guys, and he didn't have to do it. Imagine his team coming out and saying, we're releasing all this stuff now.
Yeah.
Instead of him doing it.
Will you investigate these assassination attempts? And you stated that you will release the files, all of the files, as it relates to the JFK assassination. And by the way, this is his desk.
Yeah, that's right.
This is where
That's
John Kennedy, little
That's
John
a
Kennedy.
movable door.
Yeah.
It's a little door there. That's where John was.
John, yeah. And RFK, and also Martin Luther King Jr., and that you will be transparent. This was going to happen in the first
So many
term.
people have asked me to do that. And I did it with Kennedy to an extent.
Right.
But I was asked by some of our government officials not to. And, you have to respect them. I was actually asked by Mike Pompeo, who's Secretary of State, not to. And I felt he knew something that maybe, when he asks you not to, you sort of say, why? And he felt that it was just not a good time to release him. And you might ask him why. Maybe he'll deny that even. But he did. He asked me. And some others also, though. They didn't want the Kennedy stuff released.
Does he know, though?
Does who know?
Trump.
I think he does.
Do you think he does?
Heck yeah, he does.
Does he know
Yes.
that there's aliens?
I don't know about that. Because then we have to break down what evil spirits are, the Anunnaki. We have to talk about.
These are legitimate questions.
We have to talk
And
about
I'm-
drones. We have to.
These are legitimate questions. These are much better
I had
questions than
people.
J6.
I had people sending me information about how Donald Trump, Melania, and Barron are all part of the Anunnaki because of their names and their names.
and their height.
Well, Barron for sure. And when Barron was born, I mean, I get everything. So it's like, okay, we got to break down a lot of that
I
stuff. All I
guess.
know is I'm glad that I'll take the conservative Anunnaki any day
Yeah.
over the liberal if
Yeah.
they're with us, because I like this Donald Trump, Melania, and Barron. That's for
He
sure.
sure does seem a little lukewarm now about releasing documents, doesn't he?
Well, right now, yeah.
I agree. I thought it was day one. He said day one.
Okay, again, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. Let's
Yeah.
With
get
the
everybody
team,
in the
right.
place.
Yeah,
Let's
I
get
agree
everybody
with
And
you.
in the
Democrats
place.
are slow. They're
yeah.
slow playing them right now in
Yeah.
regards to getting picks in.
Well,
I
so
get that.
here's your next interview, not J6ers. Your next interview is this, John Thune. You need to get cameras in front of John Thune. Go, buddy, what's up? You know that Schumer wouldn't have been slow rolling this crap. Why are you slow? So look, we on this show ask pertinent questions now.
Of course we do.
Where are the bottlenecks? Where are the bottlenecks? What's going on with the documents? Maybe you want where the next question that we have to have on today is John Thune. What's going on with slow rolling this crap? Do you guys really want to work on Saturdays and Sundays?
But just remember, John Thune was a guy that I warned everybody about from the get-go in regards to being one of those old school rhino, maybe deep state, somebody has some information on him type of guys. John Thune was a guy that told Trump to stay out of who the speaker was going to be. John Thune is not somebody who I trust. I don't.
You mean the Speaker of the House, or
No,
the
that's Mike
Speaker-
Johnson
Oh, right. So I know,
for
but
the House.
But you mean the Speaker of the Senate?
I mean, yeah, with Thune, but Thune is not a guy you should trust.
Okay.
You can't. He has come out. He is a guy that Republicans
Yeah.
should be wary of.
I always
And this should not be happening what is happening.
I don't think it has anything to do with Trump, but the pressure. Can you imagine if you're
Paul
trying
says
to
he's come out against their behavior publicly already. Eric.
who
Paul says that Thune has already come out publicly
about what?
about what's happening
What's happening?
with the Democrats slow rolling.
Well, what did he say?
I don't know, but he's come out against it. But once again, you can say what you want, but behind the scenes, something has to get done.
Okay, so the Senate's a lot more procedure than they do. They have things.
No, because Barack Obama
Yeah, but
got
that was-
7 his first
yeah,
day.
but they
No,
all
there's a bunch of BS going on right now.
okay. It's punitive, is what it is. Pete Hegseth, just put him in, man. Come on.
Todd says because we know half the shit Trump says is complete posturing. regarding
I don't know
what
what
he was
that
saying.
means.
Everyone involved is probably passed away already, so let's release the JFK files. It is something that's on my mind.
Well, if Pompeo, you know what?
And MLK,
Don't be afraid to be the devil's
they
advocate.
quote alien reports, drones.
Don't be afraid to play the devil's advocate. Okay, everyone's dead, fine. But if you say, if Vic tomorrow reports, we just found out through reports that the CIA and FBI were the one that killed the JFK, all of a sudden you have some serious governmental questions in your mind.
Which is why you have to have Kash Patel and everybody
Yeah,
in place.
exactly right.
Even Pete Hegseth from a national security
Yes,
standpoint.
because
Absolutely.
you have to message that. That has to be messaged also. You go, this is what happened. This is what we found. The documents have been released. Read them at your own leisure. And this is the reason that, okay, maybe this is the reason we got to kill the deep state. And there is a deep state. We just proved to you there's a deep state. Don't worry, guys. We're here to fix it, right? Something like that. I don't know. How do you do it if there's aliens? Not rhetorical. How do you do it if it's aliens? Do you sit there and go, we're not the badasses of the universe. Let us release these documents. Do you want to see that? Do you want to see that? You do?
Yeah. Why
Absolutely.
not? Absolutely.
I don't know that I do.
Why not?
I don't know that I do. I want that kind of umbrella of anonymity.
This is the golden age of America. Transparency and truth are what we're getting right and left like we've never had before.
Yeah.
Now is the time. It's time to cleanse this country. It's time to start anew where this country moves forward with everything, not only from a border standpoint, a patriotic standpoint, a nationalism standpoint, a financial standpoint, a God standpoint, a truth standpoint, a cleansing, a rebirth. These are the things I feel I see happening.
Yeah.
And why not go full blow ahead to get this out? And Trump will.
Yeah.
Right now isn't the right time because of what's happening. But yeah, I agree. He has to have his team in place for all of these things to happen, because maybe as Americans, we can't really believe that what we see happening in Hollywood is actually real life.
I kind of feel like Trump, when you go to a nice restaurant and they bring the entire spread and you see all the food in front of you and you just eat it all real quick and you get that stomach ache. I feel like Trump is in that stomach ache right now. He's like, man, I tried to drink all the water, but I couldn't do it. I gotta wait for a sec. There is a reason that it's the first 100 days and not first 100 hours. It's a lot more logistically possible to roll things out. You get more thought out. And I love that Trump is doing this, but maybe he needs to just wait it out a little bit.
Yeah, but he's kicking butt. I mean,
I know. I know.
I mean, he's got 1,500, and we can show that too. He's got 1,500 troops going down to the border now.
Yeah.
There were,
10,000 on the way.
They are kicking ass, like he said. I mean, look at the video of things that are going on. They are making sure that people understand what is happening right now. Tom Homan continuing to do his job. He doesn't care. It's just wonderful to watch all of this.
Yeah, it is. And
that's his press secretary Levitt here answering questions about what Trump's doing.
They need to.
Reuters, who broke the news that President Trump signed an executive order of 1,500 additional troops to the United States southern border. This comes off of his day one action, as I just talked about on Fox News, to direct the Department of Defense to make Homeland Security a core mission of the agency. This is something President Trump campaigned on. The American people have been waiting for such a time as this, for our Department of Defense to actually take Homeland Security seriously. This is a #1 priority of the American people, and the president is already delivering.
But can you confirm that it's
what will those troops be doing?
Tell us about J6.
Yeah.
She's going to be a badass. She's going to be a little badass. I'm telling you right now.
She already is. 27 years old.
27.
She trained under McNamara.
Yeah. How old was she then? 18?
I don't know. Yeah, exactly.
God.
She gets it.
I guess 23.
There's a reason. Trump's not putting you in a position unless you can do the job, and especially that job.
It's true.
And she is so damn good at it.
Yeah.
And she is she's anti-liberal. She's intelligent.
Yeah.
She is very well spoken. She's pretty. She gives full answers.
Yeah.
She is ready to be transparent. We haven't seen this with the last mess of a DEI hire we had.
Yeah.
This is amazing. It's like, oh, Oh,
What's
it's
the
like
name?
God just floated her right down to us.
What's the name of that? What's the name of that A&E show? Saving My Bar or something like that.
I don't know.
Do you know what I'm talking about, Joe? Save This Bar. You know where they go in.
Save this
You know,
bar.
when they'll go into a bar and they've run it down so bad, and then some guy comes in there and says,
Oh, you're talking about
What is
John.
that? What is the name of that show?
John Tepper.
John Tepper. That's exactly what's going on now. Trump's walking around the
Oh my God, Trump's John Tepper.
Trump's walking around the bar going,
America's
you got to
the
be
bar."
kidding. Yeah. Yeah. That is what is happening right now. They've run the bar down
Oh my God,
so
that's great.
bad.
Didn't Gordon Ramsay do that first? though?
Whatever. Same thing. Same thing.
I know Gordon copied him.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know who came first. I know
John
Gordon
Tepper.
was
Yeah.
years ago. I don't know about John Tepper.
Tepper.
Yeah.
Tepper.
And Trump's walking around.
Gordon wishes he was as intelligent as John Tepper.
Tepper's he's a madman, but that's what Trump is doing right now. He's going to these old, what once were beautiful bars that used to be very profitable. He's getting rid of all the roaches underneath the cabinets. He's cleaning the pots. He says, "Screw these pots. We're getting new pots." He's looking at serving staff that's on their phone, and he's saying, "Yeah, you're fired." This is exactly what it is.
This is funny. That's a good one.
It's
Eric.
like a merging of the Apprentice and that show is what's going on. He fired how many DEI guys did he fire yesterday?
Shut down those offices.
I didn't hear the what was the
I don't know.
number?
I didn't hear the number.
Was
All
it
of
in
them.
the
was
in the
all
tens of
them.
thousands? Or no, it couldn't have been, right?
He's doing what he said he would do.
Yeah. He's doing what he said he would do. Imagine that. When did DEI, Vic, come? When was the first time you go, this new thing we have in the United States called DEI? When was the first time you've ever heard that?
2013 Barack Obama. Whatever.
Did they ever bring that up over on the news station?
Oh my God, all the time.
No, I'm serious.
Yes. No, I don't remember when. It doesn't matter.
But you
It's over
saw
now,
that
but-
in a teleprompter at some point?
Yeah, we talked about diversity, equity, inclusion practices. And
You
how it was
did.
amazing, and how this is going to change America, and it changed America for the worse, not the better.
Did they have
if
that?
you don't have merit-based hiring, you're going to have crappy hiring.
So, and that you didn't say that on the air. I know you did.
Of course I did.
You did?
No, I'm just kidding.
Did they ever have DEI meetings over there?
Oh, I'm
Don't
sure.
lie.
Yeah, I did. Probably somewhere along the way. It doesn't matter now. It's over.
Is it over?
DEI is over. There's only a couple places that are even doing it. Most people are getting rid of it because they know when the universities, which are bastions
Yeah.
of
It kind of came from
liberal
there, didn't it?
BS,
Yeah.
are getting rid of their DEI practices.
Yeah.
You know, you are
Yeah.
winning.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
You
Because
know, I love it.
because
It's really good.
it's like in the NFL. If every team is kind of meh, then you don't have anything to worry about. But as soon as a few of the teams in the NFL are like, we're done, we're getting new coaches, we're getting players that actually know how to play, we're going to go and kick some ass, then every other team in the NFL needs to do the same thing.
No, you do, but you still have these people, these Democrats. I mean, California needs tons of money. They're in debt. They've got fire. They still got to fire.
It's
huge
their own
fire.
fault.
But
It's their own
they're
fault.
trying to take state money to fight deportation and sue
Yes.
Tom Homan.
$50 million.
Listen to Homan talk. I mean, Tom Homan's like, we need people to understand what we're trying to do is a good thing. And most Americans back Donald Trump, according to CNN polling. Yet
Mhm.
you still have these individuals because of their pride and deep state connections that are trying to stop it. Love this man, Tom Homan.
A lot of hate. We're going to be sued every day, numerous times. I think you'll see the left try to control the media. They're going to show the first crying female, first crying child, and say how inhumane we are. But they won't talk about 340,000 children that they've failed to take care of. They're not going to talk about the young women who have been murdered in this country at the hands of criminal cartels. They're not going to talk about the hundreds of angel moms and dads who buried their children. You want to talk about family separation? They buried their children because their children were killed by a member of a criminal cartel or someone that's not supposed to be here.
Yeah.
They'll tell one side of the story. They'll try to vilify us, but they're not going to stop us from doing our job. I don't care what the media says about me. If they saw what I saw in 34 years, saw the tragedies I've dealt with in 34 years, they would certainly understand me. They may not still like me, but there's a reason why we do what we do.
Yeah.
I'm tired of women being raped, making that journey. I'm tired of dead children. I'm tired of women and children being sex trafficked. On this administration, sex trafficking is up 600% of women and children.
Yeah.
We have a record number of people on the terrorist watch list being arrested. Historic record.
Yes.
3,500% increase. Record number of Americans dying of fentanyl. We got a record number of cartel members that have entered this country. You know, the criminal cartels in Mexico making more money than they've ever made in smuggling aliens, trafficking in women and children, and moving dope. So, hate all you want. Push the misinformation out all you want. We're not going to slow down. We're not going to go away. We're going to get this done.
Yes.
Take a lot of hate. We're going to be sued every day, numerous times. I think you'll see the left try to control the media. They're going to show the first crying female, first crying child.
So it's like a bulldozer. It's like a boulder trying to negotiate with a bulldozer.
Exactly.
That's what he's saying. It's like a boulder.
It's going to happen.
It's like a boulder pleading for its life not to get crushed by a bulldozer. And that's kind of what he's talking. This is like shock and awe. Remember Iraq? It's like that bombing. It was like, look, we're coming in and we're going to destroy you. And it's not about destroying, it's about fixing.
It is. What a great point.
It's not a negative. It's a look, Tom. Here, look. Even if you like immigration, and I do, I love it when I love immigration. We're all here because of immigration. This is more about
not like this immigration.
No, this is more about arriving at the border with your family. Who some of them are little kids, some of them are girls that are traveling alone, some of them are there because coyotes, and that's a new term that we just learned in the last decade. Coyotes have hijacked bringing little kids over for sex trafficking, fentanyl being pushed over the borders. I mean, this is nuts, dude. And this is you talk about evil. This is the Democrats letting all this crap happen. That's evil.
Yeah, and they're going to try to do it. I mean, they still have reporters who are trying to be instigators.
How?
Well, show them. Let's show the Trump video of this reporter and Trump putting him in place. I mean, I know back in the day, Jim Costa got a start by going after Trump. He got abused every time, but you have reporters who are saying information that isn't true and trying to interrupt the president.
And we had 1,500. We have 16 under review. As you know, we commuted about 16 of them because it looks like they could have done things that were not acceptable for a full pardon. But these people have served years of jail, and their lives have been ruined. And in many cases, listen to me for a second. Stop interrupting. They've served years in jail, and
much more subdued now.
You look at the American.
This is a leader. That's put yourself. Shut up, Mr. Reporter. You're trying to be bigger than the story itself, which is what reporters should not do. It's not about you. It's about truth and facts, which is what the show's always been about. Right. It's not about these reporters trying to make a name for themselves. That's what they're going to do. They're going to continue to try to do those things that you've talked about, Eric.
Yeah.
Let's talk about J6, but we're moving forward.
I know.
And
it's like you're on the clock. We'll never talk about J6.
We're going to win. We're worried about winning.
Yes. You know what? Donna's right. Ellis Island did it right. That's it rhymes. It rhymed. You got on a boat, slow boat from Europe. You arrived at Ellis Island. You got off the boat. You looked around. There's the Statue of Liberty. You're in awe. You're like, I'm going to do this right. You went over there and you signed the register. You then were documented. You came into the country. And after a certain amount of time, you could apply to be a citizen of the country. You didn't, if you were a criminal back then, you were immediately deported. It wasn't even a thing. You came in, you started communities in, South St. Louis and New York City, and then they thrived, and then you became part of the fabric of the country. What's going on now is, and there are good people, yes. But we got to be able to understand what is coming in the country. Why are, fentanyl, traffickers, criminals. Yeah. I mean, for God's sakes, there are gangs that are coming into the country that we have to be able to say, you're not coming in. And worst, terrorists. There's people coming in from countries that we have no idea where the hell they're coming from. And that's why it is important that we have a border that you can't just go over. I love the fact that he's putting troops on the border, but they better have some very big helicopters putting that fence in place.
They know what they're doing. This is different.
Because that's what has to happen.
And this is his second go around, which is amazing. And even after he was saying kind words about Joe Biden with his nice letter that he left for him, saying, "Oh, do a good job." Mike Johnson yesterday came out. This is the new leadership. They're going to investigate Joe Biden over the pardons. Listen to him talk about this. I don't know what can be done legally, but at least from a show perspective, when Democrats all over America, including those liberal networks, rip Joe Biden for pardoning his family because it looks like they're guilty. Here's Mike Johnson yesterday trying to set the record straight.
Mr. Speaker, to potentially have any type of congressional action on the pardons that President Biden issued over the last couple of days?
It was shocking. I mean, it was shocking what President Biden did on the way out, pardoning his family for more than a decade of whatever activity, any nonviolent offenses. It was breathtaking to us. I don't think that's anything like that's ever been anticipated. And by the way, go look at the tape. 4 years ago, when it was just implied that President Trump might do something similar, they were apoplectic. Joe Biden himself, Adam Schiff, Chuck Schumer, roll the tape. They all said that would be crazy and unconscionable, and now they're cheering it along. To us, it is disgusting. To us, it probably proves the point, the suspicion that, they call it the Biden crime family. If they weren't the crime family, why do they need pardons, right?
Right.
Look, there's a lot of attention that's going to be paid to this, and I think that is appropriate, and we will be looking at it as well. So, yeah.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it. Take a look at it. What does it mean? I don't know, but at least it's public information.
If you are completely innocent, if you are a person that said, "This is crazy," I don't know what you're talking about us having ties over in China and ties over.
Yeah.
I don't understand what you're talking about. No, we're not going to pardon ourselves because we didn't do anything. These guys know where all the money is buried. They know exactly what they did. There's no doubt in my mind that Joe Biden was like, "You're getting yours, I'm getting mine." And he saw Barack Obama making money hand over fist in front of him. He was, he was like, "I have special interests myself. But Hunter, here's the deal. Go over to Ukraine and get some money for us. Go to China.
Yeah.
Go to China, get some money for us. And we're going to put together about 14 shell companies, and we're going to put together LLCs all over the place. They'll never find us." I'm sure they had lawyers. Oh, that guy in California that was hiding Hunter Biden under a bed for all those years. He might have been involved in all this garbage. But that those guys have secret accounts somewhere. They're going to lay low, and they're going to all of a sudden pop up one day in wherever they're going to pop up.
Paul reminds us, none of those pardoned.
It's what happened.
You can't plead the fifth once you're pardoned, which means they can be held in contempt of court. So that could be going on. Ginny says he wasn't competent. Everything should be null and void when it comes to the pardons. If Biden didn't want his family investigated, he should have never pardoned them.
Maybe that we can get the money back.
I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, I don't know what
Donald
a pardon does.
But the good thing is,
it's like there was a few on that list. I was like, we didn't even know you were involved.
But even Trump said on that interview, damn, this is good stuff. But Trump said last night, as bad as the country is, he's like, we can change the problems. We can change the course. He's like, it's going to take time, effort. He said, unfortunately, money, a lot of money because of what's been done to this country.
Yeah.
But hey, it's good. There's good happening. Unfortunately, there's bad happening in North St. Louis like there always is. And in the city of St. Louis. And I'm not trying to dog on it because it is the closest city to us from where we broadcast.
You know what? You should do a show next week about the state of Missouri taking over the St. Louis Police Department. Well, because you have a very distinct.
They're going to.
You have,
it's going to happen.
Yeah, you have a benchmark now to say, this is what happens when you go defund the police, and this is what you get when you fund the police. And they're so happy. Oh my God, violent crime has come down 15%.
I know people don't want to talk about a merger, but there are some good things about it, and I'm going to piss a lot of people off by saying that. But Eric, I studied this as a reporter, and I'm telling you, because they have no future. There is no future in the city. There is no future. I mean,
that's their own fault.
The armory. Now we found out the owner $400 million in debt.
You know why it didn't work?
Because
every time you went down there, someone had a windshield bashed out. That's why it didn't work. It was a great place.
Yeah, great place.
Wonderful place.
But I knew it wasn't going to work. Nobody's opening up stuff in the city that's succeeding in a major way.
You know what?
And it's not going to change. And it's not that different than other cities around America.
At your own peril. At your own peril.
Look at this video. Look at this video. This video is going viral. North St. Louis Foot Locker. Look what's guy just decides. You know,
North
what?
St. Louis Foot Locker. Where did they put a Foot Locker in North St. Louis?
I was assuming it was there for. It must have been some of that Rams money.
Oh.
I just look at the. This is sickening. This stuff is still happening.
Man, move, dog. Move, dog. Move. Don't do it, bro. Move. Man, move.
Yeah.
This is gonna do. Just like the building. Come on, come on.
Is that North St. Louis County or North St. Louis?
It has to be North St. Louis County. It has to be North St. Louis
Because there's
County.
nothing in North St. Louis.
Yeah.
I mean, they might have like a food stand.
Hey,
somewhere.
Robert said there is something that could make it in
What?
St. Louis. Private prisons might make it in St. Louis.
They're coming back.
So
They're coming back.
that's another interesting point.
Yeah.
Someone needs to save a once beautiful and historic city. I'm sorry, there's not. I mean, if it
You
wasn't
got no,
for
it's
professional
you got to
sports.
bulldoze it. I know that there's a lot of historic stuff up in North St. Louis, but you got to come in there with a Moab bomb, mother of all bombs, and just flatten the place and start over. Because it could be nice. It could be like St. Charles, streets of St. Charles.
Yeah, it could
be. Vic. Vic, I'm telling you, I should have been in
Glenn
development.
says they should have popped a cap in his ass.
Yeah, why did the security guy
Because
just let him?
security got number two things. One, security people are told don't do anything.
Why?
Don't put yourself in harm's way.
Yeah.
And two, dude's like, I don't know what gang he's with. I'd do something. Who knows if he's coming back with his homies
I
to
didn't
shoot
yeah.
up something.
Then don't take the job.
I know, but you need job. You get paid wherever you can.
Unarmed security is just witnesses. That's all they are.
And from the chat line, yeah, just wait to see how long Top Golf actually makes it in the city of St. Louis.
Where is Top Golf located?
Down to, if you're traveling east,
yeah,
from Missouri into Illinois
Okay.
on your south side.
That
down there.
close to the city?
Yeah,
I did not know that.
Yeah.
How would you like to go shoot some golf balls into the graffiti at night? That'd be awesome.
And before we get out of here today, this was video the other. This was right after the. Trump had a break for like an hour, and he went and found Biden, and he deposited Biden from the White House. So we found that video, Eric. Here it is for you.
Okay.
Yeah, we found it. Here's where Biden. Yeah, okay. Oh, that's where Biden ended up.
The magic of AI video. That's beautiful.
Biden's in a dumpster somewhere, and Joe Biden isn't even trying to find him. Donald said,
Okay. I don't know how I feel about that one.
I feel wonderful about it. Absolutely wonderful.
Is there anything that Biden did that you like? Well,
No,
Is there
nothing.
anything?
Nothing. Not one thing.
Not one thing.
What?
I can't
my
think of
God.
anything.
I'm getting ready to close
I'm
out a
asking
show,
you.
and you're going to fire me up like that?
Come on, man. Is there anything, Joe, that he did that you're like, okay, I don't know.
That's like you were getting ready to leave a club
Yeah.
or a bar, and you're like, fireball shots.
It happens every night.
That's the
Every
Eric
night.
way. I
Really,
know.
Got to go to bed. Let's do shots first.
Shot.
All right, I take your word for it. There's nothing he did that was good at all.
Yeah. Guys, we appreciate you jumping in for cancelthisshow.com.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I wanted to show you something before we get out of here today. This is a Trumpmore statue, and it's really freaking cool. And Eric, you did a phenomenal job editing this.
Oh, thank you.
You are amazing. We'll show you how you can purchase this. We had some viewers purchase this yesterday, but this really is a cool statue with Donald Trump. It's called Mount Trumpmore. So we'll play the video for you. You can just check it out.
It's time for President Trump to be added to Mount Rushmore. Donald Trump's 2024 election victory is a historic comeback. Battling unprecedented lawfare, he has fought back to become the first president since Cleveland to serve non-consecutive terms. To commemorate this historic event, we have created Mount Trumpmore. Order yours today, as this is a limited time offer. God bless President Trump, and God bless the USA.
It's 8.5 inches by 5.5 inches. And then we'll show you where you can buy. You literally go to this website, meshingwellliving.com, unless, Eric, there's a better way to get it, but meshingwellliving.com.
We can also put a link on the Facebook.
The link didn't work yesterday on one of our sites, because there was one extra word in there.
Right.
But if you go to Meshing, and Joe is showing the web page right now, meshingwellliving.com.
Yeah.
Meshing, it's also in today's description of our show, where you can click to purchase. You literally go to machinewellliving.com, buy yours today right there, that white button. A couple people found it. It really is cool to celebrate. It's got some good weight to it as well. It's not flimsy. It's a solid little statue piece. And if you purchase one, we get a little piece of it.
And I think that it's possible this guy gets on Mount Rushmore.
Well,
it's damn possible that this guy depending on what he does in the next 4 years. And depending on if he has AI cranking at a high level, depending that he has maybe Elon on his way to Mars, depending on a lot of stuff that he does, this is one of those items that kind of desensitizes you to the possibility of him actually getting onto Mount Rushmore. A lot of people have been talking about it for years, to be honest with you.
After what I think he's going to do with this presidency, he would certainly deserve it.
And another thing is he's got what is it? The Trump meme Bitcoin? Is that it? He's got that going on. He's got a lot of stuff going on. He's got watches, he's got shoes, he's got everything. But I don't know. It's just I love this piece so much just because it's like it gives you a visual of what it could actually be like.
It's really cool.
It could happen, man. You never know. You just never know.
Check it out. I put a link into the site. If the link does not work onto the chat, let me know. It should. Some idiot would destroy it. Well, it depends on where you put it. You know what? Take it to work. Put it right there. Display it for everybody. No, I'm just kidding. It's a great place. It really goes anywhere. Literally, like I said, 8.5 inches by 5.5 inches. The Constitution's on the back of it. Tanya says she ordered 2 of them. I heard that mountain was not stable enough to continue with another Trump picture. Give him his own mountain.
His own mountain.
His own mountain.
What's the one in Georgia overlooking Atlanta? I can't remember what that one is. Stone Mountain.
I don't know that.
Just give him a big head, one huge head looking down.
But we'll continue to promote that. Check out the links. Also, machinewellliving.com, $44.99. It really is a great price, and it's a great statue that you can keep with you for your entire life. That would be great. Machinewellliving.com, machinewellliving.com.
What about the Gulf of Trump instead of the Gulf of America?
No, Gulf of America is better.
How about the Trump border instead of the Mexican border?
Right. For Pro Joe and Eric Johnson, I'm Vic Faust. Guys, thanks for joining us today. Have an awesome day.
Where are you guys going? We're going to Trump instead of Canada.
Talk to you later. Bye-bye.